Well, I'm off on a little walk this morning. I haven't started my daily art making or the video about my daily art making yet. And maybe you wonder why I would even want to do a daily video or try to do a daily video. It's more than trying. I know I'll make it. Something could interfere with that, something out of my control. And that's okay. If that happens, then it's out of my control. And it has to be okay because that's what's happening. So what do? You modify your plan. But for the moment, my plan is to make some kind of art every day for 100 days and post a video about that process here. Now why? There are a number of reasons. One of which is I like the discipline I acquire from setting a goal and sticking to it. Now, I've built in a little bit of grace here because I didn't say I was going to make a really complicated art project every day and film all day long, and I didn't even say I was going to make a good video. I just said I was going to make a video on some art, and it might be kind of simple on some days and a little more complicated on others. But just the act of committing to doing it every day puts me in a frame of mind that I start the day looking forward to this activity. I end my day looking forward to the next day's art making. I have something to move toward that fills me with joy. Now, it wouldn't work to create this kind of discipline around something that I don't find any joy in doing. I mean, if I committed to running, I don't know, a mile every day, I wouldn't even make it to the first day because I don't like to run and I don't want to run. And there's no point in having discipline around that because I'm not going to do it. But I do love art. And I like what happens when I just get started making art. And I don't necessarily know where it's going to lead me, but I just pick up something and make a mark or play with something, and then something else happens, and then sometimes before I know it, I am making one of those more complicated art pieces and videos around it. And that doesn't happen every day, and that's okay. But day after day of making some kind of art and committing to making a video about the process, I already know before I even get started that some magic is going to happen along the way. Don't know which day it's going to happen. That's my reasoning. I have some other things to think about too while I'm doing this project. I am trying to grow. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to talk. Trying to figure out what I'm saying and then say it and have you hear it. All right, let's try that again. What am I trying to do besides make art and make videos? I'm trying to tune into what really moves me, where my purpose is, where my joy is when I remove the expectations of the rest of the world, or what it is I do in any given moment when I'm left to my own devices and I could possibly do anything I wanted to do. But if my mission was to create joy for myself, what would that thing be? Now, I have some clues. I know that I don't derive a lot of joy by just getting pleasure, particularly if it's just the seeking of pleasure And then the seeking of more pleasure, and then the seeking of more pleasure than that, it gives me no real joy in the end. I am 70 plus years old now, and if I don't have any clues about what drives me by this point, I might be clueless, or might be hopeless. I do have some clues, and I look at how I'm showing up for myself in a given moment. I get some real peace around that, and that peace is what brings me joy. And then I have the joy that I can share with others, and that brings me more joy. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I haven't started making my art for today. I'm taking a walk. I'm going to shut up now because I'm going to walk by somebody, and I don't talk very well on the camera when people are around. Good morning. I don't like doing that. Anyway, I'm taking a little walk down to my favorite coffee shop, even though I have already surpassed my daily quota or limit for coffee. I'm probably going to have some more coffee. It's okay. I wonder what I will do when I get ready to make some art today. There are so many options that... All right. I am going to use up some leftover paint and just see what we get going here. Can you see that? Let's move this. That'll work. Now, I'm not going to mix up any special paint for this. I'm trying to use up a lot of my materials that I have already mixed up so that I don't have a lot out here in the weather when the weather changes. So I'm just gonna see what happens here. And I just have this one basket full of, can you see that, of paints. And we're not even going to mix it up into cups. We're just going to go for it. I kind of envision making a bunch of different little booklets for various reasons, maybe some gifts, maybe some items to put in the shop. That paint seems a little thick. don't want any bare cardboard. I think I'm going to put this on pretty thick, and then I'm going to dip another piece of cardboard into it and hopefully end up with 2 paintings that I can make covers out of books for. I'm looking for bare spots. That probably should do it. I don't know. All right, let's we'll see. Important thing is I have gloves on. Ready? That is lovely. All right. Should make a nice book. I have a lot of paint, so I'm going to pour some off. Ooh, won't that make a pretty cover? I will be able to turn at least some of these into some fun books, but not today because they're going to have to dry for a few days before I can get to the bookmaking process. So that's all you're going to get for today. And thanks for coming along. I hope to see you tomorrow with another art adventure. And it might be a couple of days before I get back to making books out of these.